In the vast emptiness of space, Senior Observer Daho stood at the command center of his advanced stealth ship. His three-fingered hands moved across the holographic controls as he adjusted their position above the blue planet called Earth. The Stellar Collective had sent his team to study yet another developing world, but something about this planet felt different from the start. Daho's silver skin reflected the soft blue glow of the ship's instruments as he watched the main screen. His large, almond-shaped eyes blinked slowly as he processed the incoming data. Behind him, his crew of 6 worked quietly at their stations, each focused on their specific tasks of gathering information about this strange world. "Senior Observer, you need to see this," called out Jin A from her biology station. Her voice carried a note of disbelief that made Daho turn immediately. Jin A was their most experienced xenobiologist, and very little surprised her anymore. He glided across the deck to her station, his movements smooth in the artificial gravity. The screen before them showed a human settlement, what they called a park. A small human child, no more than 6 years old by their calculations, was approaching a large four-legged creature with sharp teeth and powerful muscles. Based on our scans, that creature could easily tear the child apart, Jin A explained, her fingers dancing across the controls to bring up more data. "It's a descendant of apex predators, with a bite force strong enough to crush bones." Daho expected to witness a tragedy. Instead, the creature's tail began moving back and forth in what their behavioral analysts had identified as a sign of happiness. The child reached out and began scratching behind the animal's ears, and the predator responded by licking the child's face. "They've domesticated them," Jin A whispered. "Not just tamed them. They've genetically modified these predators through selective breeding to be companions. They call them dogs." As they watched, more shocking scenes unfolded. Their surveillance drones captured humans in what they called Death Valley, working outside in temperatures that would cook most species alive. Meanwhile, other humans were living in places like Alaska, where the temperature dropped so low it should have frozen their cellular structure. "Senior Observer," called out Min Ki, their chemical analyst. "You won't believe what I'm seeing in their food consumption patterns." The young scientist's voice trembled with excitement and horror. "They willingly eat capsaicin, a chemical compound that causes pain. They seek it out. They compete to see who can endure the most pain from their food." Daho moved to Min Ki's station, watching as humans on the screen consumed something called ghost peppers, while others cheered them on. The readings showed temperature spikes in their mouths that should have sent them running for medical attention. Instead, they were laughing. "That's not all," Min Ki continued, bringing up more data. "They regularly consume ethanol for pleasure, a substance that's literally poison to their systems. They drink caffeine to purposely disrupt their sleep cycles. Some of them even eat food that's intentionally spoiled." The crew gathered around as more reports came in. Humans working in underwater pressure that should have crushed them. Humans jumping from high places for entertainment. Humans running marathons until their bodies began to break down. For fun. "This can't be natural," Daho said, his voice quiet but firm. "No species should be able to survive like this, let alone thrive." He moved back to his command station and began composing his report to the Stellar Collective. How could he explain what they were witnessing? As he wrote, another alert caught his attention. A human was performing something called free climbing, scaling a vertical rock face with no safety equipment. The sensors showed the human's heart rate elevated but not in panic. They were enjoying this brush with death. "Send all data to the collective," Daho ordered. "Mark it as priority 1. We need more observers. We need to understand." He paused, watching as a human child now rode on the back of another massive four-legged creature they called the horse, controlling it with simple ropes and apparent joy. "What do we need to understand, Senior Observer?" Jin A asked, though she already knew the answer. "We need to understand what we're dealing with here," Daho replied, his eyes fixed on the screens showing countless examples of human resilience and reckless courage. Because either this planet has produced the most adaptable species we've ever encountered, or what? Minky asked. Or we've just discovered something that never should have evolved naturally. Daho's fingers moved quickly across his console, encrypting his report with the highest security clearance. Whatever they are, we need to know more. Because if they ever reach the stars... He left the thought unfinished, but everyone on the bridge understood. As their ship maintained its silent watch over Earth, the crew continued to document the impossible species below them, each new observation adding to their growing realization that humans were unlike anything their civilization had encountered before. And somewhere in the back of their minds, a new emotion began to form, one that their species rarely experienced: fear. The sleek research vessel emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, its advanced stealth systems making it invisible to Earth's primitive tracking methods. Chief Researcher Hejun stood in the observation dome, his silvery skin reflecting the distant light of the sun as he studied the blue planet with growing concern. Begin detailed scanning of their energy signatures, Hejun ordered, his voice calm despite the tension in his slender frame. The Stellar Collective had sent their best team after receiving Daho's disturbing report, but nothing had prepared them for what they were about to discover. Su Min, the team's energy specialist, called out from her station. Chief, I'm detecting multiple sources of nuclear fission across their planet. They're using it to generate power. The disbelief in her voice was clear. The containment methods they're using are incredibly basic. By our standards, they're practically playing with nuclear fire. Hejun moved to her station, his large eyes widening as he studied the readings. Humans had somehow managed to harness nuclear power using technology that most species would consider suicide to attempt. The safety margins they operated within were so narrow that it seemed impossible they hadn't destroyed themselves already. Show me their space program, Hejun requested, dreading what they might find. The main screen filled with images that made the entire research team fall silent in shock. Humans were reaching orbit by strapping themselves to massive tubes filled with explosive chemicals. They're using controlled explosions to break free of their gravity well, technical analyst Junho explained, his voice barely a whisper. No safety fields, no gravity neutralizers, not even basic inertial dampening. They're just riding the explosions into space. The research team watched in horror as humans called astronauts climbed into tiny capsules atop these massive rockets. The launch sequence showed the raw power of chemical explosions pushing against their planet's gravity, with only the most basic guidance systems keeping them from disaster. Cross-reference their current technology level with standard development patterns, Hejun ordered, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. The ship's AI compiled the data, producing a result that seemed impossible. Chief, called out Jai Yun, their civilization specialist. According to our records, they've compressed thousands of years of technological development into mere decades. They went from their first powered flight to landing on their moon in less than 70 years. Hejun moved through the research deck, examining each station's findings. The humans were tackling complex physics problems with crude computers, yet somehow arriving at revolutionary solutions. They were exploring quantum mechanics with equipment that looked barely more advanced than children's toys by stellar collective standards. Look at this, Su Min called out again. They're already theorizing about concepts our civilization took millennia to discover. Some of their scientists are discussing ideas that we've only recently proven possible. The research team documented everything. Humans experimenting with particle accelerators that by all rights should have torn their planet apart. Casual discussions of concepts that most species found terrifying, and an apparently endless drive to push their technological boundaries. They don't wait to fully understand something before they try to use it, Junho observed, reviewing their historical records. They discover a new principle and immediately start experimenting with it, often with minimal safety precautions. Hejun began preparing his report to the Stellar Collective, knowing his superiors would find it hard to believe. How could he explain a species that treated radiation like a tool, that played with forces that could destroy their planet, that seemed to have no concept of the normal pace of technological advancement. They're conducting quantum experiments in their universities, Jia-Yun reported, her voice filled with amazement. Students are working with principles that our scientists spend lifetimes trying to understand. And they're treating it like routine coursework. As the research team compiled their findings, a pattern began to emerge that disturbed them all. Humans didn't just advance quickly, they advanced recklessly, fearlessly, with an almost casual disregard for their own safety. Yet somehow, they survived and thrived. Send this to the collective immediately, Jun ordered, finalizing his report. Mark it as urgent. They need to understand what we're dealing with here. He paused, watching as another human rocket launched into space, riding a controlled explosion as if it were the most natural thing in the world. At their current rate of advancement, he added to his report, they'll achieve interstellar travel within a century, not through careful, measured progress like other species, but through sheer determination and what appears to be a complete lack of fear. They're not just achieving in decades what took us millennia. They're doing it in ways we never even considered possible. The research vessel maintained its hidden position, continuing to gather data on the remarkable and terrifying species below. Jun and his team watched as humans pushed the boundaries of science and technology, each new discovery coming faster than the last, each breakthrough achieved through methods that defied conventional wisdom. They were witnessing either the rise of the most remarkably adaptable species in known space, or the early stages of a civilization that would eventually destroy itself through its own reckless advancement. The troubling part was, Jun wasn't sure which outcome would be more concerning for the rest of the galaxy. Research Vessel 7 shuddered violently as it entered Earth's atmosphere. Mi's silvery hands flew across the control panel as warning lights flashed throughout the cockpit. Something was terribly wrong with the ship's main drive system, and they were falling fast. Engine core destabilizing, the ship's AI announced in its calm voice. Containment failure imminent. Emergency landing protocols engage. Mi fought with the controls as the ship plunged through clouds, its stealth systems flickering and failing. They were over a region humans called Montana, far from major population centers, but that would hardly matter if the engine core breached. Send emergency beacon to the observation fleet, Mi ordered while steering the failing ship toward a clearing between trees. The vessel slammed into the ground, skidding through soil and rocks before coming to rest at the edge of a forest. Warning sirens blared through the ship as smoke poured from the damaged engine section. Mi checked the external sensors. The crash had drawn attention. Several human vehicles were already approaching along the primitive roads. Protocol demanded immediate evacuation, but the engine core was reaching critical levels. If it exploded, it would devastate the surrounding area. Before Mi could make a decision, the first humans arrived. Instead of running away from the clearly alien spacecraft, they ran toward it. Mi watched in astonishment as they immediately began organizing themselves, some calling for help on their communication devices, while others approached the ship. "Hello," a voice called out. "Anyone in there? We're here to help." The engine core's warning grew more urgent. Mi had no choice. The safety of the local population had to come first. Breaking every protocol in the book, the alien pilot opened the ship's hatch. The humans didn't scream. They didn't run. Instead, their eyes widened with wonder and immediate concern. "Are you hurt?" asked a human female wearing what appeared to be work clothes. "That looks like a nasty crash." "Engine. Dangerous," Mi managed in broken English, learned from months of monitoring human broadcasts. "Will explode. Must fix." To Mi's amazement, the humans immediately grasped the severity of the situation. A man in a thick jacket stepped forward. "I'm a mechanic. Maybe I can help. Just show me what needs fixing." What followed was unlike anything in Mi's years of space service. The humans gathered around the exposed engine core, using their primitive tools in ways their designers never intended. A woman who worked with farm equipment quickly grasped the basic principles of the coolant system. A retired engineer understood the containment field's purpose almost instantly. "Look here," the mechanic said, pointing to a connection Young Mai had always assumed was optimally designed. "If we reroute these fields through a parallel circuit instead of series, we can stabilize the core faster." He was right. It was a solution no one in the Stellar Collective had ever considered. Young Mai watched in fascination as the humans worked. They used basic tools to repair advanced technology, finding creative solutions that somehow worked. When they lacked the right tool, they made one. When they didn't understand something, they experimented carefully until they figured it out. "The power coupling there," a young human pointed out. "It's trying to handle too much load. But if we split it using these old tractor parts," the suggestion was unorthodox but brilliant. Within hours, the engine core stabilized. As the danger passed, Young Mai noticed something else remarkable. None of the humans had taken photos. None had tried to steal technology. They were focused entirely on solving the problem, helping without asking for anything in return. "Thank you," Young Mai said, knowing that rescue ships would arrive soon. "Why help?" An older human shrugged, wiping grease from his hands. "Someone was in trouble. Doesn't matter if you're from around here or not. You help people when they need it." The humans began packing their tools, some making jokes about finally meeting aliens, others discussing the technical aspects of what they'd learned. They treated the extraordinary situation with an almost casual acceptance that amazed Young Mai. Before the rescue ships arrived, Young Mai quickly documented everything. The humans had not only repaired advanced technology with primitive tools, they had improved upon several systems that the Stellar Collective had used for centuries without question. "They don't see limitations," Young Mai wrote in the report. "Where we follow established principles, they ask why not try something else. Their technical understanding may be primitive, but their problem-solving abilities are extraordinary." As the rescue ships appeared in the sky, the humans simply waved goodbye and began leaving, as if helping a stranded alien was just another day's work. Young Mai watched them go, understanding now why the earlier reports had caused such concern among the Stellar Collective. These humans weren't just adaptable. They were innovators who could look at advanced technology and immediately begin improving it with nothing but simple tools and creative thinking. If this was what they could do with technology centuries beyond their understanding, what would they achieve once they caught up? The incident would become a turning point in how the Stellar Collective viewed humanity. They weren't just reckless adventurers. They were natural engineers who could understand, adapt, and improve upon any technology they encountered. And they did it all while maintaining a remarkable sense of compassion and dedication to helping others, even strange beings from other worlds. Surveillance Chief Ji-ho leaned forward in his command chair, his large eyes reflecting the glow of dozens of holographic screens floating around him. Each screen showed different aspects of human activity, monitored by various alien species who had joined the observation effort. What he saw both fascinated and disturbed him. "Chief, you need to see this," called out He-1, his entertainment media analyst. "The humans have created another simulation they call a video game. But look at the calculations their players are performing." Ji-ho glided over to her station. On the screen, humans were playing something called Kerbal Space Program. As he watched, players calculated orbital mechanics, fuel ratios, and gravitational assists with remarkable accuracy. Most troubling of all, they were doing it for fun. They turned complex astronomical mathematics into entertainment, He-1 explained, bringing up more examples. "Look at this one called Elite Dangerous. They're accurately modeling stellar phenomena we've only recently documented." In another part of the monitoring station, Ta-sun was analyzing human broadcasting signals. "Chief, their entertainment shows are becoming more concerning," he reported. "They're depicting technologies that shouldn't even be theoretical at their development stage." Ji-ho moved to examine Ta-sun's findings. Humans were creating stories about faster-than-light travel, artificial gravity, and energy weapons. While many details were wrong, the basic principles showed an uncanny understanding of concepts they shouldn't have grasped yet. Compare this human science fiction program from 50 years ago to their current technology, Jai-Ho ordered. The results were startling. Many devices humans had imagined in their entertainment had become reality within decades. They're not just dreaming about these technologies, said Minji, the development analyst. They're actively working to create them. Look at this research facility. They're attempting to develop something they saw in a movie called Star Trek. The observation teams watched as humans repeatedly took ideas from their entertainment and turned them into reality. Communicators from their stories became cellular phones. Their fictional computer interfaces inspired real technology. Their dreams of space travel were becoming true, step by dangerous step. What's most concerning, Jai-Ho noted as he compiled his report, is their rate of implementation. Other species imagine fantastic technologies in their entertainment, but humans seem to take them as challenges rather than mere fiction. A new alert caught their attention. Humans were broadcasting something called the hunt for extraterrestrial intelligence into space. Their messages were becoming more sophisticated, their search methods more refined. They were looking for alien life with increasing determination. They're going to find us eventually, He-One said quietly. Their detection methods are primitive but improving rapidly. And look at how they depict first contact in their entertainment. The screens showed dozens of human stories about meeting aliens. Some were peaceful, others violent. But all showed humanity holding its own against advanced civilizations. The disturbing part was how often their imagined solutions were technically feasible. Their games are becoming training programs, Jai-Ho realized, watching humans master complex space combat maneuvers through entertainment. They're preparing for space warfare before they even have space warships. The monitoring station received new data from other alien observers. Humans were developing quantum computers while still using silicon chips. They were experimenting with artificial intelligence while still using primitive programming languages. They were pushing the boundaries of physics while still burning fossil fuels. They don't wait to perfect one technology before moving on to the next, Minji observed. They develop everything simultaneously, finding connections we never considered. Jai-Ho added more urgent notes to his report. Humans were solving complex scientific problems through games like Fold-It, where players helped decode protein structures. They were crowdsourcing solutions to mathematical challenges through puzzle games. They were teaching children advanced physics concepts through entertainment. Their young are learning advanced principles without realizing it, he noted. By the time they reach their educational institutions, concepts that took other species generations to grasp are already familiar to them. The observers watched as humans continued broadcasting their presence into space, each message more sophisticated than the last. They were not only announcing their presence but sharing their dreams, their stories, their imagined futures among the stars. Add this to the report, Jai-Ho instructed. They're not just advancing technologically. They're advancing with purpose, with direction. Every story they tell, every game they play, shapes their development. They're following a path they designed in their entertainment decades ago. As the observation teams continued their work, the pattern became clearer and more troubling. Humans weren't just stumbling toward advanced technology. They were actively pursuing a future they had already imagined in detail. Their entertainment wasn't just entertainment. It was a blueprint for their species' development. Jai-Ho finalized his report with a warning that would echo through the gathered alien civilizations. Humans weren't just dangerous because of their technological progress. They were dangerous because they had already imagined every possible future, planned for every scenario, and turned their dreams into goals. And they were achieving those goals at a pace that defied all known development patterns. The stars above Earth twinkled with hidden observers, all watching as humanity moved steadily toward a future they had already scripted in their stories, their games, and their dreams. And in hidden monitoring stations throughout the solar system, Alien observers began to wonder if they were watching the birth of something unprecedented in the galaxy's history. Archives specialist Sun Hee's fingers trembled as she accessed the ancient database deep within the stellar archives. The massive crystal data cores hummed around her, storing millions of years of galactic history. She had been searching for answers about humans for weeks, and what she just found chilled her to her core. "Computer, verify these readings again," she whispered, her silver skin paling even further. The holographic display confirmed what she had discovered: genetic markers that hadn't been seen in the galaxy for over 100,000 years. The humans weren't just another species that had evolved on their own. Their genetic structure matched the legendary warrior race, the progenitors who had vanished during the Great Collapse. But somehow, they had survived on Earth, and the planet had changed them into something even more remarkable. Sun High rushed through the grand halls of the archive, her usual graceful movement replaced by urgent speed. The Galactic Council needed to know immediately. As she hurried, she compiled the evidence: the matching genetic markers, the incredible resilience, the aggressive advancement of technology. It all made sense now. The council chamber was massive, with representatives from 1,000 worlds seated in rising tiers around a central platform. Sun High took her place on the speaker's platform, her evidence ready to display. "Honored Council," she began, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "What I have discovered changes everything we thought we knew about humans." The massive holographic display came to life behind her, showing DNA structures and ancient records. "These are the genetic markers of the progenitors," she explained, pointing to a complex spiral of light. "And these," she continued, bringing up another display, "are human genetic markers." The match is undeniable. Gasps and murmurs filled the chamber. The progenitors were considered almost mythical, a species so advanced and powerful that they had seeded the galaxy with life before mysteriously vanishing. "But the humans are different," Sun Hee continued. "Earth's harsh conditions forced them to evolve beyond even their ancestors' capabilities." She showed images of humans surviving in conditions that would kill most species. Their bodies can repair radiation damage. They can survive extreme temperature changes. They can eat foods that would poison others. The council watched in growing concern as Sun High displayed more evidence. Their bones heal stronger where they break. Their muscles grow larger when stressed. Even their brains form new connections when challenged. Everything that should kill them only makes them stronger. One council member stood, his crystalline form catching the light. "Are you suggesting these humans are more dangerous than the progenitors?" "Yes," Sun High answered simply. "The progenitors were masters of technology, but humans have something more. They have unmatched adaptability." She showed footage of humans surviving incredible accidents, recovering from seemingly fatal injuries. "Look at their sports," she continued. "They deliberately subject themselves to physical stress that would cripple other species. They call it training. Their children play in conditions we would consider hazardous. Their bodies adapt to whatever challenges they face." Another council member spoke up, "But surely their technology level makes them harmless for now." Sun High shook her head. "Their technological advancement isn't following any known pattern. They're not just recreating discoveries. They're innovating in ways we never imagined. And their willingness to take risks means they're progressing at an unprecedented rate." The evidence continued to build as Sun High showed more data. Humans had survived multiple extinction-level events that should have wiped them out. Their planet had tried to kill them countless times, and each time they emerged stronger. Min Ho brought up more screens showing human scientific progress. Their particle accelerators are becoming more powerful. Their quantum computers are approaching functionality. And their theoretical physics. He paused, letting the implications sink in. Their theories about the universe are starting to match our confirmed knowledge. The protocol expanded beyond just avoiding contact. It included measures to hide evidence of alien civilizations, to mask energy signatures from distant stars, to ensure that humans' first detection of alien life wouldn't be of their advanced observers. "We've had too many close calls," Minho continued, showing footage of human ships passing dangerously close to hidden observation posts. They're getting better at spotting anomalies. Their computers are processing data faster. Their scientists are asking the right questions. The assembled commanders watched as humans launched another space mission, their primitive rockets still somehow managing to work. Their methods were dangerous, their margins for error tiny, but they kept pushing forward. The protocol isn't just about hiding, Minho explained. It's about understanding that we're watching something unprecedented. They're achieving in years what took us centuries, and they're doing it with technology that shouldn't work. Jayan brought up new data showing human theoretical work on dimensional physics. They're already proposing theories about higher dimensions, quantum tunneling, and space-time manipulation. Some of their scientists have independently discovered principles that our civilization took millennia to understand. The protocol included contingencies for what seemed inevitable. The day humans achieved faster-than-light travel. Not if, but when. The galactic community needed to be prepared for humans to suddenly appear anywhere in space. Remember, Minho warned, they don't think like us. When they solve faster-than-light travel, they won't spend decades testing it. They won't gradually expand their reach. They'll immediately try to go as far as they can, push it to its limits. The observation posts reported more unsettling news. Humans were developing better stealth technology, better scanning systems, better ways to detect anomalies in space. They were actively looking for signs of alien life, and their search was becoming more sophisticated. The protocol must be perfect, Minho insisted. One mistake, one detected ship, one piece of evidence they can confirm. That's all it would take. They would know they're not alone, and their advancement would accelerate even faster. As the meeting concluded, the commanders began implementing the new protocols. Ships moved further from Earth, observation posts became more carefully hidden, and the galactic community prepared for what seemed inevitable. We're not just hiding from them, Minho said in his final remarks. We're hiding because we need time. Time to understand what they are, time to prepare for their emergence into the galaxy. Because when they achieve faster-than-light travel, he let the thought hang in the air. The assembled leaders knew what he meant. When humans finally broke the light barrier, they wouldn't do it carefully or gradually. They would do it the way they did everything else, with reckless determination and impossible success. And the galaxy needed to be ready when that day came. Grand Observer Taidong stood at the massive window of the observation station, watching Earth's lights glimmer in the darkness of space. After decades of studying humans, his final report would be both a warning and a confession to the Galactic Council. How tragic, he muttered, as another human radio signal passed through space, carrying messages of hope and friendship to the stars. Below him, billions of humans looked up at the night sky, dreaming of making contact with alien life, while thousands of alien ships hid in the darkness between stars. At his desk, the report practically wrote itself. Humanity's greatest achievement, he wrote, is also their greatest blindness. They succeeded in finding alien life on their first day of looking. We were there all along, watching them, studying them, and hiding from them. The observation screens showed human scientists excitedly discussing new signals from space, signals that were actually the echoes of alien ships hastily moving away from Earth's improving detection systems. Every time humans got close to finding evidence of alien life, that evidence had to be carefully hidden away. Their space telescopes grow more powerful. Taiyong continued writing, forcing us to hide our civilizations behind more advanced cloaking systems. Their radio telescopes reach further, making us move our communication relays. They search with such passion, never knowing that their very enthusiasm drives us further into the shadows. He watched as humans launched another space mission. Their crude rockets still made him nervous, but they worked. They always worked. Humans took risks that made other species cringe, yet somehow turned those risks into stepping stones. They send messages of peace and friendship into space, his report noted, while accidentally developing technologies that could reshape the galaxy. They dream of peaceful first contact while casually solving problems that stumped our best scientists for generations. The irony grew deeper as he observed their entertainment. Humans created countless stories about finding alien life, never realizing that aliens were hiding behind every star, watching their every move. They made movies about peaceful first contact, while actual peaceful contact became less likely with each passing year. We hide, Tai Yong wrote, not because we are advanced and they are primitive. We hide because they are becoming more advanced every day, solving problems in ways we never imagined. Their creativity makes them dangerous not because they wish to harm, but because they refuse to accept limitations. On his screens, he watched humans celebrate small victories in space exploration. Each achievement pushed alien observers further away. Each new telescope made hiding harder. Each human theory about alien life came closer to the truth. They searched the stars with hope, the report continued, while we watched them with fear. Not fear of their weapons or their technology, but fear of their potential. Fear of what they might become once they realize they're not alone. Tai Yong included footage of human children playing space explorers, of scientists working late into the night searching for signals, of ordinary people looking up at the stars with wonder, all of them hoping, dreaming, never knowing that they were being watched. The greatest irony, he wrote, is that their search for alien life has been successful beyond their wildest dreams. They are surrounded by alien civilizations, studied by alien scientists, watched by alien observers. Their failure to find us is our greatest success and their greatest disappointment. As he finished his report, another human message traveled past the station, carrying greetings to unknown civilizations. Tai Yong felt a strange sadness as he watched it pass. The humans were reaching out with such honest hope, while advanced civilizations scrambled to avoid detection. Perhaps, his final words read, "We are the primitive ones. We hide in fear while they reach out in hope. We conceal ourselves while they openly share their dreams. We watch from shadows while they stand in the light, arms open to the universe." The report ended with a warning that Tai Yong knew would echo through the Galactic Council. We cannot hide forever. Each day, they grow stronger, smarter, more capable. Each day, their search brings them closer to finding us. And when that day comes, we must ask ourselves, were we right to hide? Or did we miss the opportunity to guide a species that, despite all our fears, might have been the galaxy's greatest hope? As he sent the report, Tai Yong watched another human rocket launch, carrying their dreams to the stars. Soon, he knew, they would achieve faster than light travel. Soon, they would spread among the stars. Soon, hiding would no longer be possible. And perhaps, he thought, that would be for the best. Because in all their watching and hiding, in all their fear and caution, the aliens had missed something fundamental about humans. Their greatest desire wasn't to conquer or destroy, but simply to reach out and say hello.